I've married a 9-year-old. It's simple.
Listen, you've been speaking enough now. You've been speaking a lot.
Agree with the 9-year-old. That's it.
Do I agree with what?
The 9-year-old back then. Your opinion today on it back then.
Based on the fact that men would marry young girls at the time in them days, if it was normal, then it was fine at them times.
Okay, remember.
But what are you talking about? Did Joseph marry Mary, who was 12 years old and he was 72? Did the kings of England? Okay, there we go, mate. You're drunk. This guy's drunk. What are you talking about? So the kings of England, blind, mate. Have you had alcohol today? You've been drinking alcohol? Have a nice day. You're drunk. Have a nice day. Don't judge me.
Oh dear.
Pardon? What you getting, Jenna? Let's hope you see.
Found you then.
We was like waiting down at that entrance and realised you were coming out. TK Maxx was going to bombard you with the cameras just for fun.
Just like troll me, yeah?
Yeah.
Your Jenna is alcohol and sex with little girls.
Getting interesting now.
Mohammed had sex with a young child. Okay, but no, hear me out. It's true, I'm saying it's true. Bro, you're drunk and you're being stupid, but the thing is this, because you're being very aggressive and you could be a nice person. Stated, and you agreed to this, that Joseph, the husband of Mary was 12 years old and he was 72. This proves that back in the days it was a normalized thing that men used to marry when they were younger. He's just said it.
How young?
He's just said it. What he said was...
Wait. How young? Wait, how young?
Let me continue.
How young?
Continue.
Also, hear this, let me talk.
Muhammad was a man.
Muhammad was a man. And Joseph was
Let him talk, mate. One second.
Joseph was an old man. However, look at this. If I said to you that if I said to you a 10-year-old kid was going to war now, you would say, what, a 10-year-old kid? However, if you look back in history, regardless of religion, of many countries, the youngest warrior was a Russian warrior and he was a Muslim. He was 8 years old and he went to war.
So you're saying you should marry somebody that old age?
What I'm trying to explain is
53-year-old Peter said to a 9-year-old vagina.
No, what I'm saying is, let me explain it. What I'm saying is, this proves that. No, it wasn't. This proves that in them days, there was something wrong.
9-year-old girl was there.
Please calm yourself down, you're drunk.
I suppose though, the thing is that we don't like put those people on a pedestal. We don't follow those people's example. Do you know what I mean?
These people are not ready for.
I hear what you're saying.
What I'm trying to explain to you guys is this, right? So now, back in the days, there were different. Times were normal. In today's society, a paedophile is anyone who goes with someone at the age of 16. However, back in the days, as I said, when Joseph married Mary, she was 11 or 12 years old and he was 72. If a 72-year-old man married a 12-year-old girl today, they call him a paedophile. But why aren't they calling Joseph? Let me tell you why. Because in them days, even when the kings of England who married young girls, it was normal in them days. However, times have changed now. The same way I was giving an example of men going to war. The youngest child to ever go to war was 8 years old, he was Russian. You can Google it, right? Now he went to war, and if I told you an 8-year-old kid is going to war right now, you'd be like, whoa, how is an 8-year-old going to go to war? However, times were different.
You just said that.
So we can't look at today's time and look at...
So how young is too young for marriage? Simple.
Well, in different countries...
In your opinion?
Well, according to Islam, at that time, it was if someone could
Satan's
army and they were they had reached puberty in them days.
Reach puberty.
So even in terms of England,
what kind of age though?
Okay, hear what I'm saying. So in terms of England,
I want to interrupt this.
In terms of England,
everybody used to do it, but nobody claimed to be from God. Muhammad claimed to be from God.
Now I'm going to explain.
Why did Muhammad put his penis at a 9-year-old girl?
You're drunk.
Why? Yes. And you will be drunk as well, Jenna. With your withers and
How young is too young in your opinion? I've got to go.
We don't put those people on pedestals like that.
I'm going to explain. Let me explain.
Why did God?
Let me explain. Guys, let me explain. Okay, guys, they're talking to me now. Let me explain. Okay. Now you asked me a question, right?
How young is too young?
Okay. How young is too young? Now it depends on the time. Now when
Today.
My daughter's 10. My daughter's 10. If you were my daughter, mate, I would kill you.
Today. After today.
In your opinion now, in today's day.
Okay, so we've already established, guys. We have established right now that times are different.
But you keep saying that. Give me a number.
Okay, so when I say a number, I mean...
Just give the number.
Okay, so I think everyone has different ages, right? For me, in my head, I think if someone's over the age of 21 or 18, they're an adult, right? So some people will go for that. However, the law of England says that you're not a paedophile if you go for someone who's 16. So now most people would be against that. If a 40-year-old went with a 16-year-old in today's society, people are like, why is he going with a why is he going with a 16-year-old? However, go right, mate.
Playing with dolls.
Okay, so what statement have I just made? Okay, guys, what statement have I just made? I just said according to.
So to finish, in your opinion, today, what's too young today?
Learning more.
In today.
The more we learn about their religion,
according to England, according to English law,
Just let him talk for a second, man. Let him talk for a second.
according to English law, if someone who's over the age of 16, they're fine. Now, if a 50-year-old right now went out with a 16-year-old, what would you say? Well, he's still calling him a pedo. They still call him nonsense. But what am I saying? Times have changed.
So in your eyes today, how young is too young?
Pardon?
How young is too young today?
As long as you're over 18, you're an adult.
So
right?
9 is
if
bad
you could
then,
be a
or not?
porn star when you're 18 years old. Well, when Joseph married Mary and she was 12 years old, when Joseph was 72.
Well, we don't follow in Joseph's footsteps. That's
Well,
the huge difference.
The kings of England.
We don't follow in their footsteps, and I'll gladly say that they're paedophiles.
Follow Muhammad in his footsteps.
So were the kings of England paedophiles?
We don't.
I don't.
No, I don't follow paedophiles.
Were the kings of England paedophiles?
I don't know, but I would. But if they were, I would never follow them. So do you still follow Muhammad even though he did that? That's
so let me
kind
explain to
of
you.
difference, isn't it?
Okay, let me explain to you now. Now you guys said something about putting someone on a pedestal. He said, "Who's Muhammad?" Let me explain this because a lot of people don't know this.
Do you agree with the 9-year-old back in the day?
Let me explain this first. So firstly,
I don't have the time though, sorry.
why do we believe in Islam and why do we believe in Muhammad? Please, I want to explain.
Just straight to the point.
So firstly, if you wanted to be a doctor and you're in nursery, can you be a doctor? No. You need to go primary, secondary, college, university. This is why there's so many religions, because God sent many different prophets to different times and different nations.
Was it okay to shag a 9-year-old back then, or not? Yes or no?
We believe the final messenger.
That's what we want, the answer to that question.
No, I understand that.
We worship the same God as Moses, Abraham, and Jesus. Now they are.
Do you agree with the 9-year-old back in the day?
Well, if in them times it was okay for the kings to marry,
Then yes, you do. Cool. Okay, cool.
If you go by the cycle that you go by, she's 6 to 9.
No, back then.
In today's society, would it be okay for a 40-year-old man to go with a 16-year-old?
Yeah, but we're not God.
However, according to British law, it's okay.
Now, from Satan.
All right, amazing, mate. Thanks. You don't even believe in religion, anyways, yeah?
So you agree with it? Back then it was okay morally, so it was okay.
I'm saying that back then, apparently, it was okay for an 8-year-old child in Russia to go to war. In today's society,
Not war. Not war.
No. Hear what I said.
Having sex.
No, but hear what I said. Forget sex. What I said to you is.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
That's what we want to talk about.
And we're talking about
Side of
everything.
a prophet that you guys worship.
Okay, we don't worship him.
No, but do you follow in his footsteps?
What do you say when you pray? What do you say when you pray?
Let me talk. So
what
we
do you
only
say when you pray?
as
You worship Muhammad.
As Muslims, we worship the same God as Moses, Abraham, and Jesus. We only believe that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the final messenger. The same way, if you went to nursery, you can't be a doctor.
Do you believe he was perfect?
Wait for it. Do you believe he was perfect? Look,
Just straight answer, yes or no? Just straight answer.
Do I believe he was a perfect man? I do believe he was a very perfect man.
man has
And
sex with a 9-year-old girl?
before Revelation, he was seen a man who was standing. Okay, so why?
So that means you agree with the 9-year-old.
So do you agree with Joseph marrying Mary at 12 years old?
I don't hold on, because I don't think
Answer the question.
Hold on, this is
crazy word. So why are you talking?
Yeah, Joseph isn't a prophet. We don't follow
Joseph married Mary before Jesus was born. Jesus
Okay, so wait for it. Okay, no, guys, wait for this. So as I said to you, right, in them days,
You've preached quite a lot. We don't need to hear repetitive preaching. We're asking you questions and what's
Oh, she's telling him.
If Muhammad was if he knew what God wanted, he would not have married a 9-year-old. It's simple.
That's a crazy.
I broke mine.
That's a crazy.
So
That's inappropriate.
That's so personal.
Oh dear.
Bro, that's really inappropriate. That.
Going inappropriate now.
That's really
We're not
inappropriate.
prophets.
That's really
Wait a
inappropriate.
minute.
Why are you using my personal experience
because
as
I
an
feel
example? You don't know that.
We're gonna go.
People in England who take advantage
not going anywhere, is he?
16-year-old barrier. That's what you should be looking at. That's what you should be going for. You should
He's
be
just going around in circles, isn't he?
chasing
He's not going to answer the. Well, he kind of did, but he's not going to.
Why are you not debating or going outside courts where the white Christians are paedophiles? The majority of paedophiles in England are white, not Asian.
Per capita. Do per capita. Right, I'm going to
Why is that? Because the majority of people are white.
Can you please talk?
Are they not?
Pardon?
You've been shouting as well. I'm not shouting.
Look at the Baroness Casey report.
Listen, you've been speaking enough now.
You don't sound very educated.
You've been speaking a lot now.
Oh, mate, you don't sound very educated either, you know. That's proper misogynistic.
Oh, man, we're both equal. She could be a man.
Then why don't you let us speak? If you're both equal, let us speak.
You're not letting us speak.
You're not letting anyone speak. Just keep doing it.
Let the lady have a say. Come on.
Let me speak. talking about the majority of paedophiles being white. It's just why is the majority of people of colour in this West? The majority of people are white. The majority are going to be white.
No, but even in proportion.
But per capita.
No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. The Baroness Casey report says completely different. The Baroness Casey report is completely different.
Where's your proof? Show me your proof.
The Baroness Casey report just came out. The Baroness Casey report just came out in Parliament. The Baroness. That's an appeal to authority. That's an appeal to authority.
What's a law degree got to do with it?
Because if he hasn't even studied law, he hasn't got anything.
No, that's an appeal to authority. That's an appeal to authority.
I said, have you got the proof?
That's a logical fallacy. That's a logical fallacy.
So if you can't prove it, and she said he's.
Excuse me, that's a logical fallacy.
I'm not with them. I'm not with them.
What an infuriating man.
So they were going to I just came in because look.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go.
Don't talk about credentials. Don't talk about credentials.
What I'm going to say, look, there is no acrimony to
Do you agree with the 9-year-old? That's it.
Do I agree with what?
The 9-year-old back then. Your opinion today on it back then.
So you admit that he does that?
Based on the fact that men would marry young girls at the time in them days, if it was normal, then it was fine at them times.
Okay, that's all I wanted. Thank you.
The same way was.
Thank you. He's agreed. Cool.
Tell us that you fancy children, bro. You fancy children?
Do I fancy children? No, I've been women, very beautiful women. And you know what? You wouldn't even get the girls that I've got in my life.
You wouldn't get the girls that he gets in his life.
I've been with beautiful women in my life, right?
That is haram.
I think it's haram to wear that cap right now because you know what? It doesn't suit you. You should wear a cap that suits you. I like the message, but I don't think it suits you. That cap's haram.
We're gonna go. Thank you.
You keep claiming it was fine at the time. If Muhammad the messenger
I just interviewed, mate. Just wanted your answer.
You know what's going to happen in 2,000 years. God's all knowing. You should know.
I'm sorry about that.
I just wanted to get him to say that on camera, which he did.
Peace and love, look.
Yes.
Good day.